Hey everybody, welcome back to Brock TV here at beautiful Lake Sam Rayburn in East Texas. I got some footage today. I know I hadn't posted in a while. This is some footage from practice fishing for the Strike King Big Bass tournament they had at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to share that footage with you, and then at the end I'll come back and I'll tell you how we did in the tournament. Stay tuned. So right here, this is day two of practice, and I'm in this. It's traditionally a little spawning flat. You can see there's some grass around. I had missed a fish a little earlier on the Carolina rig, and then I catch this fish right here on a chatterbait, which of course I did not have the camera on at the time. It was still kind of early in the morning. This was my first spot. I I was throwing that chatterbait around, Carolina rigging, just seeing if I could find anything up close, shallow. The water was still kind of cold. It was high 50s, low 60s, but we should have been coming into some pre-spawn. Um, I pulled that fish off of some grass next to kind of some little twigs. So I thought maybe there'd be some fish a little later in the week if it continued to warm up in this spot. So I I ended up leaving this spot. Came back to it a couple times during the week. Nothing moved up. So then I kind of started moving offshore to see if I could find fish, staging on some points, kind of in some ditches and drains. So right here, I moved off of that flat, out a little deeper, kind of towards the main lake. Found a little drain that I was marking some fish. So I pulled up. It was probably about 18, 20 foot of water. I started throwing a crankbait around, and I pulled this fish off. It was a little over three. Um, I let it go, obviously, and then I threw a few more times. Didn't catch anything else, so I moved on out to a little deeper water, and was gonna see if I can find some bigger fish, maybe that hadn't quite started staging up shallower yet. So I move out a little deeper, find a little point. It's got some fish on it. Throw a crankbait for a couple minutes, no bites. First drop shot cast right here. I catch this little one. Um, I was marking fish, and I figured, if the weather stayed right, there'd be some bigger fish moving up later in the week. So I kind of hang around here just for a little while to see if maybe I can pull a keeper, and maybe I can come back to this spot if the weather's right on tournament day. Take it. Yeah, just won't take it. There we go. Fish on. Little bitty ones. Come on, take it. And hit it pretty good. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Oop, oop. Another little one. So this is Thursday before the tournament. I get up. It's a 8:45 right here. I've done hit a couple other spots. The lake's kind of rough. The wind picked up. So the wind's coming out of the south. So I find this little point. There's a flat. It's right off the main lake. There's a creek running through it. So I start graphing it. There's a little grass up by the bank. I see a couple of fish. Look like decent fish on the graph. So I stop and I start throwing this crankbait around. And first cast, I catch a 4-pounder, which once again I didn't have the camera on, so I missed it. But I continue to cast, to see if there's anything else in that area. And you'll see here in a little bit that I catch a decent fish, and I start thinking, this would be a good spot, a good starting spot for tournament day. Main lake point. It's a flat. There's a creek. There's some grass up by the bank, so I figure, fish would at least start staging. So you see right here, this is the next, it's just a few casts later that I catch this fish. Kind of, when it finally comes to the top of the water, I couldn't tell how big it was when it hit it. It didn't feel very big, but when it comes to the top right here, I see that it's a nice sized fish. I kind of lose my mind a little bit. It ends up being a little over 7 you'll get a little glimpse of my scale here in just a little bit. So, I catch this fish. I caught the 4 right before it. I start thinking, man, this is my spot. I'm gonna start here. When my partner shows up, I'm good. I've done fish for, almost 2 weeks. I finally found some fish moving up, and this is my spot. So I put this fish in a live well to kind of let it rest a little bit. I keep it out because I keep it out of the water for a little while. I fumbled around with my scale, and I make some moves after this, just kind of running around, see if I can find anything else that's a lot like this spot. And I should have paid a little more attention to the weather for tournament day, but I didn't. But I thought this was my spot. I caught this fish. I started texting my partner, hey, I found fish. We're gonna be on them come tournament day. Didn't think we was gonna catch. I didn't think we were gonna catch big ones, but all I needed was to catch just some fish. just something to weigh in. So you can see right here, I'm weighing it and kind of fumbling. Like I said, I fumbled around with the scale. You'll get a little shot, maybe here in a little bit where it's a little over 7. You put it on a certified scale, it may not be 7, it may be a little under 6, but it wasn't that big of a fish. I wasn't worried about that anyway. I just knew that this was going to be my starting spot. So, as you can see, I caught a couple fish. I felt really good going into Sunday. Um, I should have paid a little more attention to the weather. Come Sunday, another front comes through. Typical spring, early spring, I guess late winter weather. And the wind completely changes directions. It's blowing right up onto that little flat that I caught those two big fish on, and I didn't even get to fish them at all. Well, I say that later on Sunday afternoon I got to fish them, but by that time it was a little too late, and it was still windy, and we just didn't do well in the tournament. We caught a couple little 1 pound fish, which was enough with the format of that Strike King tournament. As long as it was a legal fish, you could weigh it in, and you would get entered in a drawing to win gift cards and other items. So me and my partner, we at least each caught a fish that we could weigh in and get entered into the drawing, which we both ended up winning the gift card for the for Lews or Strike King. So we we felt okay. I mean, they were $250 gift cards. I mean, it was awesome. Really liked the format of that tournament. It was every 3 hours on Sunday they weighed in. It wasn't like an every hour deal. It was every 3 hours you weighed in. So there was three weigh-in periods throughout the day, and it didn't matter if you got big fish. As long as you weighed in a fish, you got entered in a drawing. You could win a cooler, a cup, gift cards. So, I mean, it was really good. I really hope that they keep it going and it comes back again next year. I'd really like to fish again next year. So, and maybe next year the weather will cooperate, or maybe I'll just find better spots to fish. I did fish for an entire week practicing for that tournament. Actually, I'd been up there for 2 weeks fishing off and on when the weather would let me. And those fish that I showed you in those 2 days, that was Wednesday and Thursday of that week before the tournament. I finally caught some fish and felt really good. Felt really good going into Sunday. I thought I had something working that we might be able to catch some fish. Ended up, it just didn't work out in our favor this year. But like I said, maybe hopefully they'll come back next year with the same tournament, and we'll have better luck. They did have some really nice fish caught that day. Nothing big, it was still late winter, early spring. They did have some, I think the biggest fish might have been a 7 that somebody weighed in the first period, and then after that the weights kind of went down. But it was a really fun format, and if anybody's around Rayburn next year when it comes back, I really suggest fishing it. It was a fun event. It was Strike King, Lews sponsored. The night before the tournament, the day before, they had the check-in at Ann's Tackle. You go up there and you can meet some of the Strike King pros. It was a fun time, and I really hope they come back. I really want to fish it again. I had fun, even though the day of the tournament the weather was terrible. I actually had I did not get any footage of it, but I was going across the lake. I hit a wave, and my Garmin actually went overboard. It came out of the little bracket. If you're familiar with Garmin, you know how they kind of snap in, and it overboard. And luckily it floats, So I was able to scoop it back up, kind of put it in the box, um, let my adrenaline come down a minute before I go put it back on, and then after that, for the rest of the day, I would take it off before we ran across the lake, and then the wind did settle down later in the afternoon, and you could run across, you could go anywhere you wanted, but it seemed like once the wind kind of shut down, from the people that were catching fish, the fish just kind of stopped biting. It was kind of strange, but it was good. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, share it out, subscribe. Subscribers are great, and I really want to get some more content out to you guys here. As soon as I can, as soon as I can get back on the water fishing. I've been busy with work. I've been fishing. It's just I've been fishing my nephew's in a youth fishing league, and I just kind of been running the boat for him. I'm not allowed to fish, but just kind of been running the boat for him. So that's been fun. So maybe I'll be able to get some footage of that next year, and then just for the rest of this year, try to get some more content going. If anybody has any ideas, shoot me a message. I'll do what I can. I know I got to get some crappie stuff going here. I got to get busy, getting my brush piles and stuff ready. So I'm going to be doing that here within the next couple of days, so that I can get people out, fishing, and we can hopefully get some videos of that. That would be pretty fun too. So anyway, till next time, we'll see you. Just hit that subscribe, like, share it out. Thank you.